When you look back at the wildlife photos that truly moved you, the ones that stayed with you long after you saw them, were they technically perfect? Were they perfectly sharp? Perfectly exposed? Did they have the perfect amount of background blur? Or were they human? Were they a little imperfect, a little raw, a little messy, but real? Because photography right now is going through a shift. And it's not about sharper lenses or more megapixels. It's about imperfection and authenticity. And today, I want to talk about where photography is headed, why this shift is happening, and what it means specifically for wildlife photographers.
But you're stronger than you know. You'll never be alone when everything feels dark.
Hey, I'm Jeff, and I'm a professional wildlife photographer living in Charleston, South Carolina. On this channel, we talk about wildlife photography, photo editing, creativity, ethics, and how to grow not just as photographers, but as thinkers. And if that sounds like your kind of thing, then I want to welcome you in. For a long time, photography moved in a clear direction. More perfection, sharper images, cleaner files, more dynamic range. And don't get me wrong, technical progress is a great thing. But something interesting happened along the way. Perfection became common. And today, almost anyone with a modern camera or even a phone can create a technically sound image. Sharp, well exposed, clean. And when perfection is easily obtained, it becomes normal and it stops being impressive. So what do people respond to instead? Well, they respond to authenticity. They respond to images that feel honest, images that feel experienced, not manufactured. This isn't a rejection of refinement. People are just tired of images that feel overpolished, overprocessed, and emotionally distant. They want photos that give them a sense for the actual moment. Now, this is important. Authenticity does not mean sloppy, and imperfection does not mean careless. This isn't about abandoning fundamentals. It's about allowing reality into your work. Motion blur when it serves the moment. Grain that adds mood. Imperfect light that tells the truth about the conditions. Authenticity is intentional. It says, this is what it actually looked and felt like to be there. It doesn't say, this is what I could have technically achieved if everything went perfectly. There's a big distinction between the two. Wildlife photography is uniquely positioned in this shift to be a more authentic product because wildlife photography has often been judged almost exclusively on technical perfection. Sharp eyes, a clean background, a perfect pose, and those things do matter, but they aren't the whole story. The truth is, wildlife doesn't exist in controlled conditions. It exists in harsh light, bad weather, chaotic environments, unpredictable moments. And when we try to force wildlife photography into the framework of perfection, the story is often lost. An image of a bird battling the wind, a mammal moving through heavy rain, a moment of tension, struggle, or uncertainty. These moments are rarely perfect, and that's exactly why they matter. Authenticity allows wildlife photography to feel less like a trophy and more like a window into real life. Here's something worth thinking about. Most people viewing your images are not photographers. They don't zoom in and check your sharpness. They don't analyze color noise levels. They could care less what lens you used. They care about how the image you captured makes them feel. And emotion doesn't come from technical perfection. Emotion comes from connection. A slightly blurred wing can convey motion. A grainy image can convey mood. A messy background can convey chaos or tension. When we chase perfection too aggressively, we often strip emotion out of the frame. Authentic images invite the viewer into the moment instead of impressing them from distance. So what does this mean for you as a wildlife photographer? It means shifting your mindset slightly. Instead of asking, is this perfect? Start asking yourself, does this feel real? Does this tell a story? Does this reflect the actual experience? Does this make me feel something? Here are some other practical considerations to think about as well. Don't automatically discard images with motion or grain if they serve the moment. Be more intentional about storytelling, not just subject isolation. Allow environmental context to matter. Embrace light and conditions instead of fighting them. Focus on behavior, emotion, and interaction. This doesn't mean lowering your standards as a photographer. It means expanding them. Technical skill becomes the foundation, not the finish line. There's also an ethical layer to authenticity. Authentic wildlife photography respects the reality of the animal. It avoids the excessive manipulation, or at least the temptation of excessive manipulation. It avoids staging. It avoids turning wildlife into props for perfection. When we prioritize authenticity, we naturally move toward a more ethical storytelling. And in time, with things like AI, when trust is fragile, honesty is powerful. Photography over the past few years has undergone many big changes, of course, due to the development of AI. But we often forget that AI has long been a part of photography. After all, what do we think made tools like the clone tool or the healing tool work? But obviously, the AI that we talk about today is far more advanced and it brings far greater concerns. Is photography moving backwards? Is it moving forward? Or is it just moving deeper in some way? Is it moving toward honesty, towards experience, towards emotion? Wildlife photography has an incredible opportunity here, not just to show animals, but to show life as it really is: imperfect, unpredictable, cruel, heartwarming, and deeply meaningful. Over the years, when I have talked with other photographers and we discuss favorite photos or maybe even our favorite photographers, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this as well, it's often photos or photographers such as Ansel Adams, right? Of course, he was famous for his landscape photography, but his real rise in photography took place during the 1930s and 1940s. Sure, he had a level of technical mastery during that period that was second to none. But as we discussed earlier in this video, we don't have that same separation today in technical mastery that he did back then. That gap has closed. But Ansel Adams was also highly regarded for the dramatic and emotional impact of his images. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What do you think about photography shifting to be more authentic? How do you balance the technical aspects of photography with the emotional connection? Hey, are you looking for a new photo editor? Are you ready to check out DxO Photolab 9? Head down to the show notes where you can use the link that I've included to head on over to DxO and check out Photolab 9. This is the software that I use and trust for all of my professional editing projects. Not sometimes, not just some of my projects, all of my projects. Hey, if you decide you want to pick up a copy of Photolab 9, be sure to use my discount code at the time of checkout. That is Magnolia, and that will save you 15% off at the time of checkout on your purchase. And if you're not quite ready to make a purchase, be sure to download a 30-day free trial so you can try out the entire program risk-free with no restrictions on it. It's a great way to try out every aspect of it with your photos to see how it works firsthand and give it a go. See what you think. But hey, it's got noise reduction software, leading industry noise reduction software. And it also has AI masking tools with the release of Photolab 9. Going to really streamline your workflow and just make everything smoother and faster. And if you're worried about learning Photolab 9, well, head on over to magnoliaphotographysc.com/store where you can check out my DxO Photolab 9 Masterclass. I take you through DxO Photolab 9, show you all of the tools, and even show you my specific system for editing all my photos. It gives you a great jumping off point to go ahead and create your own step-by-step editing process so that you can edit your photos with consistency to get those professional results. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today in this video. I really appreciate it. I know you have busy lives, and I appreciate you taking some time to spend it with me. But before you go, you might want to think about checking out this next video right here.